what you said
I
too.
mean,
Wait a minute. Did y'all watch that game
see
yesterday?
now,
Oh,
see now the coach matters.
now the coach
Did you
Joe.
watch the game though? Because I was sick. I was super sick.
Damn. Well, you see Chris Paul put up 28 and 10 on
On
Rondo's head?
who? On no, it wasn't on Rondo's head. That's what I'm saying. It
Oh
was
yeah,
not
that's
on
right. Because
Rondo's
Rondo
head.
comes off the bench.
He
That is right.
does. He does.
Yeah, all the best players come off the bench, Mike.
I don't know what's
No.
going on over there. Like, I don't know what Ty Lue's doing. Cause I'm like, bro, like, no, like literally 6 minutes left in the fourth quarter. They're down 1 point. Like Rondo's running shit.
Mm-hmm.
Scored on D-Book twice. Layups, easy.
Yeah.
You know, like he's not really guarding Chris Paul, but he's like, you know, coaching the guy on the switch so that Chris Paul's not really doing shit. Telling you, like, this is what Chris Paul about to do right now. This is what he's about to do right now.
Word.
He gets out of the
28 and 10 on your head.
Wait,
That's what
he
you
gets
got to do
out of
right
the
now.
game. Like, he gets out of the game. And then Chris Paul goes ahead and dogs PG. PG's whack. Dogs PG.
I agree with
Dogs
you on
Reggie
that.
Jackson. Dogs Reggie Jackson.
I mean, all I'm saying,
And I'm
Brandon,
like, why did they take him out of the game?
usually, from what I've experienced in my years of watching basketball, they usually take the bench players out right around that time in the fourth quarter. Maybe
But
earlier, actually.
I don't understand if they're down 1 point after they were previously down like 7 or 8 and they're making a comeback. Why would you make a sub at that point for Reggie Jackson? When the point is you're trying to, like, we're playing great, like they're playing great defense. I don't even want to say we, even though the Warriors suck. I can't even say we with them anymore, hardly. No,
Yeah.
I'll still say we gonna
Gotcha.
struggle. We gonna struggle
believe.
together.
We gonna struggle. We gonna believe.
We gonna struggle together. But damn. I was
Damn.
just pissed yesterday. I was like, why did they take him out? 6 minutes left. They down 1 point. They take my boy Rondo out the game and they lose it. Chris Paul scores like 7 straight points after that.
That's what he do.
It's not what he do. It's just like
What he
they're not like.
definitely does is what he
But
do.
he did it.
It's what he does. Chris Paul
right.
definitely does this shit.
It's not happening in the playoffs. That's all I know. That's
Word,
all
and we'll find out. We'll find out when that time comes.
It's not happening in the playoffs. But all right, so let's get to the show. This is mostly bullshitting.
I'm Mike.
Oh yeah. My name's Brandon. We're still working on
it. I'm Solomon. We still working on this. For sure.
This is basically the catch-up discussion between 3 ex-college roommates where we bring our very serious takes to all the important and interesting topics of the world. We go into great detail about their nuances, but honestly, we're mostly bullshitting. So let's start with Mike. What you got for us this week? What's your topic, man?
So I just kind of wanted to talk about the current world of advertising. Nowadays you go on social media, every 3 or 4 posts on Instagram is going to be an ad. Same thing with Twitter, same thing with Facebook, any type of social media you use. So I was just trying to get your guys' feel on, do you guys feel that these advertisements actually work on you? And if so, like what percentage of the ads do? Because I personally feel like I just scroll past them every time and like I don't click on them. But the way these apps are supposed to be built is they're supposed to have an algorithm that tells you that knows what you like, and it shows you advertisements for things that you like. But I just feel like they don't, they're like missing the point with me. So yeah, missing the mark. So how do you guys feel about it? Have you guys ever looked at an ad and like bought something from it?
To be perfectly honest, not really. Like I definitely prefer someone else's cosign to it than something that's sponsored. I feel like that sponsored is a little bit of a turnoff for me. So I don't really like, I scroll like you scroll right by it. I definitely like do check out some of the videos because some of the like they've been much more creative with their like commercials. Like they make it seem like it's like a video from like some content creator more recently. So I do see them improving like at the style of what they're doing. But for me, I don't really try to make purchases off of that. But what I do is if I see like one of the people I'm following wearing something clean, and they tag like some people, drop the fit pics and tag where they copped it from. That's when I'll actually go through the Instagram, see like the designer, click the link, see like the little catalog, and see what they got going on. And that's pretty much how I go about it. Like I feel like the advertisements aren't really tailored towards me personally. I would agree with you there.
What about you, Brandon?
I think for me, it just depends on the product. Like, I feel like there are some things where if I see an advertisement for it, it would get me to buy it. I look a lot specifically for Black businesses to support. So, I mean, they create advertisements, but I know we're talking about like major corporations, right?
Or like not even that. Just like if you go on your Instagram right now, like every third post you see is going to be some kind of advertisement, whether it's for like a game or like just some random bullshit. And I just feel like I've never like actually clicked on something and said, oh, that's for me. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Like
I feel like a lot of
advertisement is what you're saying.
yeah, like
Outside
it's
of
like
like
I don't follow the
somebody.
person. It's just
Right,
Instagram
right.
forcing me to see it.
Somebody must.
Because here, twinkle in time, star maps of your most cherished memories. The fuck do I look like buying some shit like this? Like,
it's like a low cost just to like mass send out stuff to a certain demographic. So because it's like so cheap to do, people are just gonna keep doing it because I guess it's a low risk, high reward kind of thing. Now it's fucked up that they give people the capability to mass send out stuff to a certain demographic without me being able to choose whether or not I want, to be vulnerable like that online to whoever. You know what I'm saying? Like I might not want to watch everybody's shit or see every type of
but
ad.
I mean, it was my understanding though that the algorithm is supposed to kind of pick up on the things that you like or things that you would be interested in, and then show you ads tailored towards those things. But maybe it's different, like you said. Like people can send, as long as they put the money there, they're just going to put it in front of as many people as they can,
Would you
type of
pay
thing.
for ad-free Instagram though?
No.
Right. So it is what it is, bro. That's
No.
just
Well,
how
actually,
doing business.
No, you want to
yeah,
pay.
no.
Would you pay for ad-free
I
shit?
understand it, but I'm just trying to figure out, like, are these people actually? I guess they are making money off of it. It just doesn't make
But
sense that
it's
they
a low
show it.
cost. They're not making. I don't think the companies are making money. I think Instagram is making money, but they're making it so affordable to mass send out these like whatever like posts or whatever. It's not even that expensive to do. So since it's not even a big cost, it's like why not? Like a lot of companies who are just starting out or who are doing like this drop shipping thing, because that's what it really looks like. It looks like a lot of drop shippers.
Yeah.
They're just like, fuck it, I might as well just pay this little $100 for getting it out to 3 million people for the week, and it's whatever.
Let's see if it works. I mean, I guess, yeah. I mean, 1 million people, it's bound to get somebody, but I just feel like a lot of them are just things that I'm just like, I guess that's just me personally. I'm not interested in at all. Like I haven't seen one ad on Instagram where I'm like, yep, I need that. Like, you know what I'm saying? And I've had Instagram since it started.
Yeah, I know. What I would say to it is that I like Brandon said, I feel like we're the secondary kind of concern here. I think the first concern is getting the money from those like vendors and companies. Like you're at their bidding because like you get to run that slot. You're running a commercial time for them. So how much time do they want? How much money are they going to throw at you? That will ultimately determine what's going to come out onto the feeds. It's not necessarily like you want something. Like there's always going to be algorithms to try to like curtail what those like the companies that offered money to Instagram. They're going to try to curtail those companies to fit what your liking is, and they'll try to adjust it. But they're not going to give free advertisement to random companies who don't pay the money, because at the end of the day, the dollar bill is the bottom line. They want the gas to come in.
I mean, I get there's going to be money, but I just feel like there's businesses out there that probably can advertise on Instagram that'd be more tailored towards my interests but I guess they just
I
either they're
think
just
that's
not putting they're not putting the money there, or like Instagram's algorithm is all fucked up.
I think that would be too much work for Instagram, for what the companies are paying Instagram to put it out for. Because I feel like from what my
They got all my
understanding,
cookie data. Like
yeah, they do. Yeah,
they
they
got all my
definitely
cookies. Like
do.
they know what I browse on the internet.
But I
Like
don't think the companies know. Like the companies don't know, and they are the ones that are going to state that, like, hey, I want 18 to 24 in this specific region. They don't know exactly what. They don't really necessarily know that, like, you're part of a specific demographic or not. They believe that this advertisement with this demographic will work based on who they see buying. Because the only thing that the company has is the information that's coming from who's purchasing this stuff. Like they'll get the purchasing data and they'll go off of that shit. It might not work out when it flips back into advertising for like other mediums, but
Like, do
it's
you
kind
want
of a shooting
Facebook to
dark.
sell your cookies, Mike, to who the highest bidder? Because that's what you're just.
I feel like that's what they do. They do that anyway.
They
like
don't.
they're already doing it.
They kind of do that, but there are like restrictions.
Not all the way.
Yeah, there are some restrictions, but they do that. But I think it's even the same thing, just as bad to, instead of doing that, be like, all right, we're just gonna send it to everybody within this demographic. You know, like we're not gonna share the information, but we have the information. We'll disseminate it for you. We'll do what you want for you, so that we'll do it the legal, just way. You know what I'm saying? So it's like it's still bullshit.
All right. So then kind of where does that lead the future of advertising? Do you think eventually they'll get more honed in? Because I think that would be more effective, but maybe it's just like, I know there's a Black Mirror episode how you can pay for shit by watching an advertisement or something like that. But do you think that the future of advertising will kind of lead more in that direction?
Maybe. It depends on how strong the government is able to defend against corporate monopolies at this point. I feel like we're getting to a point where we're already at a point where we're receiving individualized ads. We're already like like not all the way individualized. Like even though I live with like Gersh, my roommate, I still don't believe we're receiving the same exact ads because we still follow different people. For example, like
that kind of goes back to my original point, is that the ads should be more tailored towards you yourself rather than just like a general demographic sent out. Because if it was just sent out to a general demographic, then you and Gersh should be seeing the same ads. You know what I'm saying?
But it also, I feel like they can also try to like make ads to be tailored to like based on people you follow. If you follow, like if I follow like soccer players, will I get advertisements for soccer cleats? Well,
that's what it's based on.
Yeah.
Okay.
So there's going to be some nuance to it. We don't like. I personally don't know the machine learning and the AI behind it all, but there's definitely some nuance to just like them. It's not just age, like race, like kind of region. It's not just that. There's definitely more nuanced things because Instagram is much more personalized. Not only do they know who you follow,
it's
they
based
know
on your engagement.
Exactly. They know how much time you spent on specific people's pages, so they know your top hitters in terms of all of that.
Yeah.
I guess. I mean, that still doesn't like, it still doesn't feel like it lines up for like what, because like most of my views are House of Highlights, you know, basketball. So you would think I'd get a bunch of basketball like advertisements, but I don't get shit for basketball.
You don't get Under Armour advertisements?
Wait, what do you get?
I probably do. Maybe I just skip over them that much.
What kind of advertisements do you get, Mike?
Yeah, exactly. Like go through your list. Tell us your first 4 advertisements.
All right. So
you got
like a minute though.
Video. So like, okay. So the first thing's a Photoshop video editing app. Like I don't edit videos. I don't go to anything that implies that I like to edit videos. Next one's just for like some bullshit game. Then what's next? some ice. Oh, Hollow Top ice cream. I guess I do buy Hollow Top ice cream, or I've had it before.
I was thinking about it.
But like it's not because of this ad though, is what I'm saying. I bought
You bought it
Like I
before.
bought it before, but there's no reason for this to specifically pop up on my page.
Do you
Like I've
watch
just
like trailers for games or something on your Instagram?
trailers for
Like
games.
do you look up like stuff for games on your Instagram? Not at all.
No,
Hmm. I was
I
like,
really
I would
don't
be
go on
curious.
Instagram that much anymore. So maybe that's why.
Hmm.
But yeah, like the last like 4 posts I just saw are all from House of Highlights.
Hmm.
Now they got like some Mother's Day advertisement, but
Maybe
yeah,
it's just because you're such an anomaly. They're just like, we're just gonna throw everything at this guy.
Yeah.
He
We're
maybe.
only
trying to
does
figure it
watch House
out.
of Highlights videos. Let's just try to
Too
sell him the
generic. Too
kitchenware,
generic.
right?
Yeah, here's another video editing app. Like,
All right,
that's all. Let's
let's
go on to
yeah, let's go to the next topic.
the
All right, so
next topic.
all right, so I was on Clubhouse recently,
Okay.
and I was like, damn, this is an interesting topic. Somebody said that ADOS is the black version of white supremacists, and I was like, that's harsh. Like, why do they feel that way? You know, so ADOS, I don't know if Mike or the audience knows about it. Solomon, do you know what ADOS is?
I think I do, but I'm not exactly sure.
Right. So it's just like a political group. They call themselves the American descendants of slaves.
Okay.
Or found I think another one that's similarly aligned is called FBA for Foundational Black Americans.
Mhm.
And basically their mission is to get reparations for the descendants of slaves living in America that are responsible, you know, for building the infrastructure here. Um, so apparently there's a group of people, there's like a large group of people who are against this group because they have um, stigmas about them. A lot of them are like anti-immigrant stigmas about, you know, exclusion, just not only just like in terms of policy, but in terms of just social and cultural status, you know, from black immigrants. So it's just sort of trying to separate American-born Africans from ones who, you know, are first or
Immigrated
second
here. Yeah.
immigrated here, first or second generation since like 1960 when the border opened up.
Hmm.
So like, I don't know, what do you guys feel about reparations? It was interesting because I remember, Mike, you were kind of talking about that last week when you were like, you know, we gotta or 2 weeks ago when you were talking about we have to build our economy as, you know, individuals, you know, in order to help the group of, you know, just us as black people are standing here in America. So, you know, reparations, getting some sort of bailout or assistance, financial assistance from the government. Do you think that that's a good idea? I have my own ideas about it, but you know, there have been some bills proposed. Like there, even 30 years ago, there was a bill called HR 40 that was proposed for reparations. I know that in California there was a bill passed recently to study it. So they're at least trying to study the bill so that an actual bill will be proposed to the California Congress. So I just want to get you guys' take on reparations and is it good? Is it bad? And what can we do? I'll ask the other question later, but it's mostly like, what can we do to rectify these, I guess, these bad relationships in some instances between African immigrants and African descended people who are here in America?
Damn, that's a good
Really
one.
deep. Really deep.
Uh, so starting off with reparations, I definitely think it would help, but I don't think that just having just a bunch of cash deposited into our bank accounts would be the best idea.
Mm-hmm.
I think if we were to receive reparations, it should, I mean, going back to the idea, I mean, we're definitely not getting 40 acres anymore, but some kind of give us
Whatever that's
ownership
worth
in
in
some kind of,
money
yeah,
would be
like
cool.
giving us ownership in some kind of piece of property, or like giving us like just some kind of asset other than money, something that we can't, because or if it's going to be money, provide a financial education along with that. If they were going to give us just a bunch of cash, because like, unfortunately, I just feel a lot might not know exactly what to do with that money. It could just end up getting blown instead of investing it properly, or like going and, you know, buying property and just building up your generational wealth. But so like, I think that any type of reparation should be in the form of property, such as like giving out condos or something like that, rather than just a lump sum of cash.
That's interesting. Yeah, what about you, Solomon?
Yeah, for me, as someone who immigrated here, I personally did not. My parents did, but I'm part of that kind of group that is not part of the like ADOS. But for me, what I see is it can't be cash, and especially in this capitalistic world where we own like where people in power will not just willingly give up money just for the sake of saying like this is for our like misdiscretions in the past. What I see it as, what would be most beneficial in reparations is providing, you know, government incentives to provide structures to Black communities worldwide. And what that means is providing financial incentives to like open up supermarkets in communities that don't have supermarkets like within a 20-mile radius, building Black schools, you know, building pretty much parts of the community that are fundamental to helping grow. And I'm honestly kind of peeling off some of off an interview that I saw with the Breakfast Club with Dr. Umar Johnson, where like in the world, like in America, we don't have a place where we have a Black owned school, a Black owned supermarket, a Black owned post office, like a Black, like pretty much the main parts of the city that help a community function. If those are all Black owned, this can pretty much provide functions and relations within the Black community that will help long term. And that's kind of where that generational wealth can come from if you have a community that supports it. If they're like America is all about individuals and in an individualistic kind of growth. And so we do see like moments where there are Black celebrities, Black entrepreneurs who individually create wealth for themselves and those close around them. But we don't necessarily see like an entire community of like Black upper middle class people in communities that are pretty much all Black owned. And well, I personally have not seen it, but I don't think that is something that is very common in America today. And so incentivizing communities to kind of set up those structures so we have a place to learn, have a place to grow, have a place to eat healthy food so we can, you know, prolong our lives and not necessarily die from and have Black owned hospitals like with Black doctors and Black nurses. Like it would be like I think that is what I see, like putting Black people in positions to help a community thrive is how I see reparations being handed out. And I can see that through specific government subsidies in terms of Black ownership. I'm not sure how quickly that can happen in today's society, but that's kind of how I see it.
Okay, I was gonna say that I don't know if a subsidy would help. It could help, you know, get you to own property, but it won't get you to help stimulate that business. So I mean, ownership is one thing, but it's really about getting people to spend their money. So it's interesting, you know, we all have this negative stereotype about ourselves, unfortunately, that if we were given a whole bunch of money, we would blow the shit. I would think that's what you know, that's what we just did with the COVID bill. You know, we printed money just to blow the shit, and they with the intention, you know, they gave us the money to blow the shit. So if that was their intention, why would they be upset at doing that for Black people? I think that they know Black people wouldn't do that, that we would do the exact, we have common sense. We would do the exact things that you just named, Solomon, if they gave us money. We've had communities in the past that they've destroyed, Solomon,
Yes.
straight up.
Yeah.
In
I know.
1919, they bombed Tulsa, Oklahoma. In the 70s and 80s, they pumped drugs into our communities and destroyed and killed our leaders. Um, and I just think that I am against reparations entirely, in my opinion. I don't think that the hand that we're getting it from is really a hand. It's more so a trap. It's like a claw. Uh, and so I don't know if we're really getting anything, expecting to get anything from them. And if what we do get, I don't expect it to be something that is really in the long run beneficial for us. It may be, symbolic in some way, but it's not really going to help us out. In my opinion, that's why I started this business behind me tapped in. My main goal, the question I'm trying to answer is how do we better relationships between Africans and Africans here in America? And I think the number one way of doing that is through business. Um, African resources are being exploited. There's not enough African manufacturing. We have a wealth of knowledge here in America on how to get things done, on how to manufacture things, on how to sell things, that we could share with people who have a wealth of resources. We have a wealth of information. They have a wealth of resources. I think we can meet on a common ground. And I'd rather deal with someone who looks like me, who's not really done anything to me recently, than
Yeah.
someone who just recently, expressed that they don't give a fuck about me. So,
Yeah. I get that.
it's like, yeah.
Yeah, something I want to add to that is like there are very lucrative business opportunities like back in Africa. There are places like it's basic. It's like infrastructure, hotels, like very like basic things, schools. Like these things can be built and it can provide an immediate impact to communities. And it's like it is an investor's gold mine, truly is. And one personal story that I know, my priest's my priest as a child, his brother was a janitor here, and he pretty much was making like I'm not exactly sure how much he was making a year, but he was a janitor somewhere. He dropped everything um, to start a hotel in Kenya as an early investor. He took all of his savings. He had three little kids at the time, um, and it came back tenfold. He left as a refugee of war and came back and decided to build with what he learned from America. And like you're right, Brandon. Like America is a place of entrepreneurship, investment, where you pretty much can create your own path. And he's like, I'm positive he's actually a multimillionaire at this moment, as a result of his investments at the right time in the right place.
In Africa?
Yeah, I believe he built his hotel in Kenya, and it's pretty much considered a luxury hotel resort. Chinese investors go there frequently, and it's you pretty much get to set your price point um, for your business model, and you get to essentially create like wealth for yourself and the community around you. It provides jobs. It provides like I can tell you right now in Ethiopia, the job rate, like the job rate for 18 to 35-year olds is at 22%. That's not unemployment. That is employed. Like there are people who are willing to work. There are like there is just not enough business to be had in that country, and there's an ample amount of opportunity.
Right. I think it's about people who have influence here, um, talking to people who have influence there, and that's how we get things done. But we only got 8 minutes left on this little janky, janky
Yeah,
basic plan.
that's
So
good.
let's go, Solomon. We might only have 7 minutes to talk, man.
That's
Sorry.
totally fine. My topic is actually a little bit of an extension on Mike's topic in terms of advertisement. It's more tailored towards the nature of addiction in today's society. How does it play a role in today's society? How does it affect kind of the way we think, the way we react, the way kind of the world moves? So, like, My reference point for this kind of topic is going to be like Netflix's Social Dilemma. I'm not sure if you guys have watched it, but it provided very insightful things in terms of the technology that was put into the experience that someone has when they're looking at their phone for whatever reason. It doesn't just have to be applied to that. That's just kind of more of an artificial manufactured way of being addicted to something. But there are other addictions out there. There's drugs, alcohol, you name it. There are things that provide a consistent endorphin rush that we are getting more and more frequently. I believe like before like in the 90s, we were only just watching TV as one of the like, and that would be considered an addiction. But today, if you're just someone who watches TV, that's normal life. And so, with today's kind of environment, how do you think it affects you personally? How do you think it affects the world around you? And how do you think it affects kind of future change to come?
I think it makes people less motivated
What do you say that though?
because it's pleasure. I mean, at any level. So it's just like shit. That's really what people's really. That's people's number one goal in life is relaxing. I mean,
Yeah.
at any
I,
level.
yeah, I think it just kind of makes us more lazy. Me personally, like we have all these apps now that'll deliver food, groceries right to your door. I found myself just doing that instead of actually just getting my ass up and going to the grocery store myself. Um, just with technology, it gives us the ability to do pretty much anything from our homes. But at the same time, that kind of technology also influences people to get out and work. So we got people working for Instacart, people working for DoorDash. So like because of those apps, like people are being able to kind of be self-employed, and those people, yeah, for now, I wouldn't consider those people to be lazy because they're making money off of it. Not a lot, but like, yeah.
For now.
What makes you say like for now? What makes you think that would
They're
change?
gonna send robots out to do the same shit.
Drones?
No, drones, yeah.
They're gonna send robots out to do the same shit.
Yeah. Crazy. Like, yeah. For me, I have a hard time seeing like the thing is with this type of endorphin kick in terms of like things are happening so much quicker. I see it actually it's like a double-edged sword. I think change can happen quicker, but I don't think it can happen as consistently. I think there needs to be like a shock value. Like this is like kind of bringing it back to the Dante Wright conversation we had. Why is the conversation of police brutality only brought up when we see an image of a black man dying in the street? Why can't it be something of like infractions where like a police officer is, you know, dropping a baggie of cocaine in someone's back seat and then arresting him and it's shown on video? Like there's like I think I guess like the point I'm trying to get at is that what do you guys think are the benefits to it and what is the negative side as well? I know you guys mentioned laziness in terms of like individuals and maybe a little bit going into like the environment around us, but on the broader social scale, well, how do you guys see it affect us?
In a way, I mean, I think it can also be a good thing. I mean, we're able to see the opinions of people all over the world, and and people are able all over the world are able to see the struggles that we're going through. You go back to, the 1990s, or maybe even further back than that, like maybe like the 80s. Like something could happen in the United States, and that news might not get to, Europe for months. You know what I'm saying? But now it's just like everything's instantaneous. You'll see it right away. And that kind of just, it's able to have like a domino effect across the world, and everybody's able to, that supports your specific movement can then lend their voice of support for you in that type of situation. So, I mean, that's where I think the positive comes. It connects the entire world together. And I don't think, me personally, I think that kind of outweighs like the negative effect of checking my phone every day. because I'm able to see what's happening. I'm able to easily donate money to things that I think that align with my views. So I think that's where the benefit comes of it, and I think it outweighs any like negative effects of me, just checking my phone every hour or so. Like,
Yeah, I think you're right. So I mean, like we were talking about that also a couple weeks ago. Like Derek Chauvin got convicted because of social media. In the past, that would not have happened um, if there was no video that was spread around globally to create that sort of response. So I think that was crazy. And, like, we're just going to have to deal with social media, man. You're just going to have to be more disciplined, man.
Yeah.
It's really just about discipline in life if you want to be successful. So there's always going to be distractions. There's always going to be, we're becoming, like you're saying, we're becoming more and more aware of things and how to achieve, these certain levels of ecstasy or pleasure or whatever. And there's, a myriad of ways of doing that. But, if it's all, like I was saying, it's all a distraction. It's all, to make people less motivated so that they're in a cycle routine so that they don't stir things up and they're not too competitive. I mean, that's just my opinion on why these things are promoted. But you just got to be aware of that and just be more disciplined.
I mean, but to kind of counteract that, a lot of businesses are built on social media. So like it can actually motivate some people. Like some people have lives have changed because of social media. You look at not like these influencers and stuff, like not that necessarily like I think they are all the best people in the world,
I
but
saw
like
2
their
years
lives.
ago and it was fat.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Like their lives have completely changed. Like there's good people in the world whose lives have changed because of social media, and they were able to make money, start a business, gather a following of people that are like them or support them.
Hey, yo, we got to get up out of here though. I'm gonna say goodbye to everybody. Thanks for checking us out another week. We'll be back next week. Mike Solomon, thanks for doing this with me. And I'll see
Absolutely.
y'all later.
All right. Have a good one,
Peace.
y'all.
Peace.